Welcome to the Answers for Elders radio show. Meet the trusted experts who will give you straight answers and will help guide you on the path of later life care. Now, here's your host, founder, caregiver, and CEO, Suzanne Newman.
And welcome back, everyone, to Answers for Elders Radio Network. And we are here with the Vitality Revolution, which is a wellness program that we are offering on, or featuring over on Answers for Elders for the next 4 months. And so we're very thrilled to have Lori Hudson on behalf of Humana, our major sponsor. And Lori is talking about emotional wellness today. And for those of you that have missed it, I hope you catch all of the segments in this series. And we are now in our final segment, and we're going to be talking about organization, but it's more than that. It's having everything in order so that once you may pass or be in a health situation or in a hospital or whatever that is, that your loved ones, whoever's responsible, they can find things. They know what you have and what your wishes are most important. And we are here again with Lori Hudson from Hudson Insurance Solutions. And Lori, I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you so much. And so you may wonder, well, how does that tie into emotional wellness?
Yes.
But I think that it causes so much stress for people. If you get into a situation where mom's in the hospital, your husband's in the hospital, whatever it is.
I need power of attorney. I need this document. I need that document. And you don't even know where those are.
Yeah, I need to know, what are the passwords for this? You know, you can't even get into somebody's phone. You know, if you have an iPhone and that person passes away, if you don't know their
you don't even have Face ID and you don't have the phone password. Very true.
You can't even get in. So the things like passwords, but also just having a book, and I call it a life book. It can be whatever you want to name it, but just having that book, and you know, you have to update it regularly so that people can access it, or whoever you want to access it. Now there's a lot of digital ways to save passwords, so you can do that. But really, when you start on something like this, you need to choose the format.
You know, it's interesting you say this. I had a family that I was working with, and she was actually in the process of, her mom got, ill very quickly. And she ended up, very sadly, she ended up going up there. She was up in Bellingham, in Washington, taking care of her mother. And lo and behold, her mom passed away while all of this was happening in the middle of the night. And here she was. Her mother had a Medicare card, and then she also received her Social Security on a debit card every month at the time, and I don't remember, but she didn't have the PIN number, and so she couldn't access the Social Security account to be able to pay for the cremation service. So it was crazy how the whole thing happened. And obviously, to get that Social Security money out that was rightfully hers, because she was entitled to it that last month that she was alive, that piece of, the puzzle wasn't there, right? And it caused her all kinds of hassle, because she had to figure out how to find the money, she didn't know what her mother wanted. She didn't have anything organized. She had a messy house that she had to clean up on top of it. And here was all the stress. She didn't know what bank accounts her mom had or anything. And this is something I think that is really real with families that they go through. And you probably find it quite a bit.
Oh, I do. And just think about if maybe her mom, which, maybe not, but what if her mom had a life insurance policy that she didn't even know about?
Yeah.
So if you don't collect on it, then you may never know. And it is something that I get phone calls from family members for all kinds of different, my mom or dad went in the hospital, I need help. Well, technically, because of PHI, private health information, I'm not allowed to share, if they call and want information, unless there's a consent form or a power of attorney on file, I'm not able to even talk to the person. And then if they call into the insurance company directly, they can't even get information. And even if it's a spouse, they won't talk to people now.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
so this is important for so many reasons, but, peace of mind. But, I do get those phone calls. My mom passed away. I saw your business card. Does she have any life insurance? Because people are, they're in the dark. They don't really know. And when
do you find that often families are in the dark that you're working with?
Oh, constantly. And, a lot of people have a will, not everybody, but a lot of people have a will. But this life book is kind of a precursor to the will. Because
so tell me about a life book. You use that term. I want to know what that is.
That's what I named it. But
okay.
you first you choose a format of how you want to store that. Do you want it digital or do you want a binder? Some people want just that physical binder, and then you come up with the categories of what you want to add to that. And it could be, it's your personal information, it's your medical records, your doctor's contact information. And if you want to put medical history, allergies, that kind of thing. So if you're in the hospital, and it could be a friend. If you don't have any family members, and what if it's a friend? They might not know what your allergies are. So you could put those kinds of things. Your financial records, bank accounts, investments, debts, your insurance policies, again, legal documents. So again, the will, power of attorney, because if you have a will, having it in that one spot with everything else can be helpful too. And then your important contacts, emergency contacts.
Is it like a scrapbook that you use? What kind of is a notebook? What do you usually use?
It can be a notebook, just a binder.
Okay, just a binder.
It can be with categories, but I think a binder works really well, because if you have a 3-ring binder, then you can pull sections out, update, just put notebook paper in there, or however you want to divide the sections. I think can be really good. And then, so especially as we're getting older, our family members might not be close by. So,
and then obviously, if you have a power of attorney and an executor, they should probably have access. They're usually separate people, not always, but usually the power of attorney is that agent if they're still alive, and then once they pass away, there's an executor, and usually that's a different person.
Correct.
How do you recommend that they have a copy to it, or they have access to it? How do you work with those individuals?
Well, I think it should be in there, and this is something you would want secured, and you would want to tell certain people that it's in there. But I think having that power of attorney, just in case it's a family member, if you have those emergency contacts, family members. So again, if it's a neighbor, they will know how to get a hold of your family. But I have kind of a personal story on listing your valuables in there. Which
I was really just thinking this too. So go ahead.
So I have a story about that. So when my mother-in-law passed away, she had a painting. We did a big estate sale. And she had a painting. I didn't really care for it. It wasn't my style. It was a painting of a barn scene. And it was just, it just wasn't something that grabbed me. It was nice. But so anyway, I put it in the yard sale for $5 or something. Well, my son, who is the eagle eye on, he just has this just uncanny knack for picking things like this. So he said, well, I want that painting. And I said, well, great, you take that painting. Well, that painting was worth $7,000. And I had already given it to him.
Oh my gosh.
So he will not give it back. So it's something that you hear that all the time. I picked up a Tiffany lamp at a yard sale that someone thought was a fake, so if you list those personal inventory things in there, I think your family members would appreciate knowing that. So,
and I think one of the things that's really interesting about this is the fact that, when we get to a point where, things that matter to us, I know that our kids, like, for example, China and Crystal and all that stuff, the next generation, the millennials, they don't want that at all. Right. They don't want any of that. And I sit there and I think to myself, okay, I don't have children. I don't have anything. So what am I going to do with my mom's China and Crystal? When I'm gone, there isn't anybody that's going to want it. But there's things that, we've done segments on things that you can do with things. And if you had a binder like that, you could put down, I want this painting to go to this person. I want this diamond to go to that person, so that they're listed, of your desires and your wishes. And I think that's the thing that is so valuable about having a binder like this. I am really impressed.
I think some of those things you can put in your will. I put in there's a certain ring I'm going to give to my daughter-in-law, those kinds of things. So you can put that in your will, but going to update your will, it's expensive. Updating your will, you have to pay money.
Very much so.
And to have it notarized every time and updating it. So the binder can be a nice backup to that, as you're adding to your life, and there's certain directions. And one of the things my mother-in-law put, she didn't have a binder, but she did have some documents, and she had on the outside of the envelope, please be good to each other. So and we read that after she passed, so I thought that was very sweet.
Yes,
you can put a personal message in there too for your family.
This is incredible. It's really an amazing thing. And it's certainly, I could see something that kids could put together, and say, Mom and Dad, I learned about this. This is a binder for you. What we'd love to do is help you put this together. But also, if you get a chance, this is the Lori section. If you have a message for me or anything like this, and, for the next 10, 15 years you're alive, we would love this is our, your legacy that you leave behind, and all the documents that need to happen. What a powerful and wonderful way to have order at the, the last chapter of your life, where, people aren't in uproar. And that's so important. So thank you for this. This is awesome.
Yes. Thank you so much. I love sharing this, because I think it is something that can be very meaningful for people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Lori, how do we reach you?
Well, the best way is my website, and it's Hudson Insurance Solutions, and Hudson with a T, Hutson, insurancesolutions.com. And I am licensed in the state of Washington. And so I help with insurance needs for Medicare beneficiaries here in Washington. But if you're outside of the state, if you fill out the contact me form on my website, I will put you in touch with an agent in your area.
Yes. And special thanks to Humana again for sponsoring this set and our program for the Vitality Revolution. And Lori, it's been great having you on the show. This and next month, I can't wait to see what you come up with. So we're excited to have this program with everyone. And listen to yourself. Think about how you can be better through this process. And we're so grateful to have you here. So thank you again to everyone for listening. And thank you again, Lori. We at Answers for Elders thank you for listening. Did you know that you can discover hundreds of podcasts in our library on senior care? So visit our website and discover our decision guides that will help you also navigate decision making. Find us at answersforelders.com.